Power of your word. The use of affirmations. Your words, when used consciously, have the power to transform everything for your highest happiness. When you accept that you are the creator of your day, then every moment has the added possibility of unfolding in spellbinding perfection. You want to create affirmations that represent accomplishments, desires, and goals. The more you give thanks to your universe, the more you will amplify the promptness and continuation of future manifestations. The momentum builds once you keep acknowledging the power behind thoughts. Affirmations not only promote inner confidence, but they send out a clarion call to universal guardians to assist you with your requests. Remember that your universe is constantly working for you. When you share gratitude with spiritual allies, you are sending a message to your universe of your balance, contentment, and positive reflection. Be mindful that if you are using self-limiting language created by a false belief system, you may be placing limitations upon your ability to achieve lifelong aspirations. The list of self-sabotage can be endless when you are focused on limitation and not expressing confidence in achieving your potential. The power of language. Just as the use of language can uplift and inspire, it can also deplete enthusiasm and unhinge another's life. Just as you exercise your body, you must also exercise your mind to build up immunity to lower thoughts brought about by the language you have become exposed to. All of us have felt the poisonous effects of words when directed towards us in anger and thoughtlessness. It is often hard to take back those toxic exclamations, even when they have been launched in haste. Language expressed in an angry moment can leave lasting effects on energy systems throughout a lifetime. Every thought and word carries vibrations so powerful that the harmonics of each syllable can create an energy that can change the outcome of a situation dramatically. Words are indeed magic. Words possess such power they can cast spells. This is where the word spelling comes from. Be sure to cast good spells by choosing your words wisely. Always understand that the energy, emotion, and intention placed behind words are extremely potent. Self-destruction. It's time to start to realize that your body is always listening to your every thought. If you attack your body with criticism, your body will respond accordingly to the energy your message is sending. You never want to deface your physical appearance by declaring how you hate being overweight, or remark how displeased you are with your appearance. It is kinder to turn the negative reflection into a positive affirmation. You know how hurtful it can be when someone you love scolds you or tells you how disappointed they may be with you. Statements that reflect displeasure towards another generally have nothing to do with you, but everything to do with the sender. We all hold mirrors up to the world. It is quite understandable then that people see their reflection in some characteristic you present that reminds them of some perceived flaw they see in themselves. When it's not possible to walk away. Whenever possible, walk away from people that cause your heart to close. Just notice how the words others speak make you feel. If you feel good, stay. If your heart constricts or your stomach tightens, walk away as fast as you can. It is always better not to engage in conflict, and it is always best never to respond to those who would attempt to assault you verbally. Practice word alchemy. There is always a better way to say something. Try to be conscious of the words that carry a higher vibration. If you consciously adjust your vocabulary so your words dissolve and diffuse all negativity, it will become easier for you to navigate your day in the most phenomenal ways. With over 750,000 words in the English language, why choose words that perpetuate pain and sadness? What you are discovering is that language is not just an audible communication. The spoken words become events in motion. I'm passionate about teaching and demonstrating how the power of thought and energy in our language directly impacts the life you experience. I can think of no better way to demonstrate the power of language than to present you with the results of an experiment conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto. Dr. Masaru Emoto was a Japanese educator and scientist who wrote several books on his experimental discoveries with water. One of his books, Messages in Water, documents Dr. Emoto's experiments conducted on jars of water. To begin his experiments, Dr. Emoto exposed various written expressions affixed to jars of water. One set of beakers received toxic expressions. Another set received uplifting, loving expressions. Dr. Emoto instructed his students to express audible language to the beakers. The group of beakers receiving the written negative expressions would receive harsh language, and the group receiving written praise would now receive loving language. In addition, Dr. Emoto exposed one set of beakers to loud, abrasive sound and the other to soothing, melodic sounds. At the conclusion of a 21-day period, Dr. Emoto photographed frozen sections of water from each of the experimental containers. Water from beakers receiving positive projections produced the most amazing snowflake-appearing purified water crystals. Water taken from the containers receiving negative frequencies produced distorted, incompletely formed crystals, the quality of which mimicked the appearance of cancer cells. Pictures of his resultant experiments are depicted within his work, Messages in Water. If spoken or written words can have this impact on water, imagine how words impact the events in our lives and on one another. Add the power of emotion, amplified by the intensity of a delivered word, and the power unleashed can inspire or destroy any projected target. To further Dr. Emoto's hypothesis on the power of audible words, he took his experiments to polluted reservoirs in Japan to see if his classroom experiments could change a large body of water. He invited community participants, instructing observers to project loving expressions towards a noted body of polluted water. With media cameras rolling, he took comparison water samples. First, he took samples from the polluted water. As expected, the water samples revealed the broken cellular structure of the polluted water crystal. Then, following the loving audible expressions directed towards the water from the community, he collected samples of the transformed water. The conclusion of the community experiment revealed the previously known and proven pollution of the chosen site had been converted into a purified body of water. What can be learned from Dr. Emoto's experiments? Imagine what a difference projected words could make when directed towards polluted bodies of water in local communities. For that matter, what actions do you think loving transformational thought projected towards the earth and her resources could provide? What happens when our thoughts, our words, are applied to the human body? If an expression of love can change the shape of a water crystal, and consider the human body as approximately 70% water, what effect do you think thought and word frequencies might have on human cells? Or for that matter, what effect do you think sound and accompanying intonation directed at a specific object might create? If sound can alter the composition of a water crystal, imagine how sound could also change the composition of cellular structure, our environment, or even throughout the world. What effect do you think soothing music piped into hospital rooms might provide? Do you think there would be fewer traumas during surgical procedures if pleasing sound is included during the operation? Do you think sound could speed the healing process of the traumatized cells or provide support to sensitive emotional systems? The answer to all considerations is a resounding yes. Would it surprise you to know that an individual in a coma can hear words and conversations conducted with such an individual? There are countless patient cases where individuals have woken from their coma to recount the messages delivered and conversations held while they were seemingly unconscious. Words that carry the greatest potency are those dressed in the deepest compassion and love. Conversely, those words drenched in anger, hatred, fear, and retribution carry the weakest vibration. It is advantageous to maintain a higher life vibration by using heartfelt words of compassion, understanding, harmony, and love. When our frequencies are lowered by projecting negative thought and expressing toxic language, we are exposed to the viruses, bacteria, and invite the unpleasantries of our projected thinking to return to us on waves of unwanted manifestations accelerated by our lowered vibration. Of course, it's not just words that contribute to our energetic reserves, but the combination of words, their structured messages, and the intention we place behind the delivered communication that determines the promptness of our manifestation. We have all said things in haste. We have all forgotten there are better ways to express our feelings. The next time you find yourself in an awkward encounter where verbiage becomes toxic, you might consider putting the individual in a box of mirrors. I have done this on many occasions. This is a highly effective, light tool, and not one to be unleashed before careful consideration of the effects. This prompts me to present you with this consideration. All are accountable for their actions through spiritual eyes. Here's the box of mirror technique. Simply visualize the individual encased within a box of mirrors, where all sides, top to bottom, side to side, front to back, are mirrors. No matter which direction the individual turns, they will see their own reflection, the one that's not very pleasing. Another great tool to employ when you are surrounded in a negative environment is to continue to surround the individual in blankets of pink light representing loving energy. See this in waves of energy descending over this individual. It may take several minutes for the energy to dissipate, but a love vibration will eventually transmute most negativity. Usually, when someone launches a banter of negativity, it has nothing to do with you. It is often a case of your being in the wrong place at the wrong time, where you become the closest energy to receive the uncontained emotional expression. Too often, those we care for the most become targets of uncontained emotions. These expressions come from some limitation the sender has yet to process. It is unfortunate that those receiving the ill-thought, unexpected harshness must process the unwanted emotion. Words, sounds, and thoughts are not just inanimate expressions. They are living frequencies that carry emotional imprints that register within our energy bodies. Choose your words wisely, and remember it is always better to present positive intention. The power of thought can change outcomes, renew a planet, change the direction of a storm, generate rain, heal a body, and change the world we live in.